Hello, my crafty friends. It's Marie from Marie's Vermont Creations, and today I am bringing you another Halloween card. So I'm just showing you some of the products that I'm using. This is some Villainous Potion Distressed Glaze, I believe it's called. This stamp set is from Simon Says Stamp. I'm using a piece of pattern paper from my stash, and the sequin mix, I believe, is from Brutus Monroe card kit from a long time ago. So I'm just going to take this black pattern paper and put the house image, the haunted house image, into my MISTI, and then I am going to ink this up using Versamark ink, and it's a good sticky ink so that you can emboss with it, and then I will coat this with the Villainous Potion powder and heat set that with my heat tool, and it gives a really cool look. I've actually never used this before. It's not quite as opaque as regular embossing powder, so if you order the colors that come out from Tim Holtz from Ranger, you can get everything in the collection. So I have a few of these because I've ordered some of the newer colors as a whole bundle. Otherwise, I don't have a lot of colors in there. So if you have these, this is a fun way to do it. And I thought, the purple would be a really good Halloween color. So I'm just going to heat set this, and it's really cool how it changes. As you can see here, it starts to darken up. Instead of being, grainy, it goes to a nice smooth finish. So then I'm going to take a sentiment from that same stamp set and repeat the process. I'm going to stamp it down with the Versamark ink and coat it with this same powder and heat set it. And I think it says Happy Haunting or something to that effect, which I thought was appropriate for the house. I don't know what I was just going to say there. Completely lost my mind. Once I get this panel all done, I am going to turn this into a full panel shaker, which I probably failed to mention. And so there are a lot of products now that are out that you could use to make full panel shaker cards. I know there are companies that have A2 size panels already scored and ready for you with adhesive on the back of them. You can use just scrap packaging, which is I'm going to do today. You can use acetate, which I've done before. So there are many options of how to do this. So I'm just going to take my double-sided adhesive and run it along all four sides. And once I get that done, I will line it up in the packaging and remove the backing to 3 of the sides, and I will seal in the packaging so that I leave that 4th side open. You want to do that, otherwise you won't be able to put your embellishments into the card. So here is what I've been doing is, if I like to take my stamp sets and put them in heavier packaging, I use stamp pouches. So I save all of the packaging that the stamp sets originally come in, and I have a drawer full of just a hoard of these. And if you cut them down and separate them, you have 2 panels with no trouble. And some of them are pretty large that you could get at least 4 out of them. So once I get those all done, I do trim off any extra of the corners, which I'll get to in just a minute, but I'm just going to open up my sequin mix and fill it up as full as I think looks good. And you don't want to do too much, because otherwise they don't tend to lay very flat if you fill them too much. So this is a good purple and gold mix. So then I will take off that last bit of adhesive and seal up the 4th side, and then take my scissors and cut off the bulk of all 4 corners, just so you can't see it from the front. And then I will coat the back of this again through all 4 sides and then through the middle with my double-sided adhesive, so that I can adhere this to my A2 size card panel. And this full shaker piece is a little less than an A2 size, so this is 5 1/4 by 4 is the size of the panel that I'm using, so that I can have a slate border all the way around my card, the base of the card. If you wanted it, you could make it the full size. You could make it a little bit smaller. You can really customize the size of these to whatever works for you. as long as you have enough, clear packaging to be able to fit your panel. You could make a larger one if you wanted. Actually, that would be really cool. Do a 5x7 or bigger card as a full shaker. So now that I'm going to get that all taken off, I'm going to adhere this to my regular, black. I went with a black card base because a white one would have been a little too stark, so I opted to go with black. Give it a shake, and that's today's project. I hope that you enjoyed it, and as always, I hope that you have a great day.